There we go. Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night here at the BT Network, and that means it's time for political catch-up with our master creator Frodo and me, Oddball Extreme. So,
What's up, motherfuckers?
yeah, and oh boy, have we got a lot to unpack. I think this political catch-up's gonna be more packed than a Waffle House at breakfast. Because believe me, there's a lot to cover. But I am going to start off with one simple word. Taco!
Yep. Our lovely president now has the best nickname ever.
Yep. Oh, hold on a second. Janet's in the chat too. Hi, Janet.
Yep. Our president now is called a taco. And it means Trump always chickens out.
Yep. Let's see. There it is. For those who want to know, the person who came up with Trump always chickens out is CNBC correspondent Megan Casella. She did it.
Yep.
You know what she needs to do? Trademark that thing.
Yep. Oh, I'm happy right now. I just got my phone back up and running. So for those that don't know, the last couple days I've been without a phone because an update fucked up. And I just got an unlock code.
Unlock. But yeah,
it's sim unlocked.
Yeah, but ever since Taco came up last week, it's just gone absolutely on fire. And of course, Pan Bondi says, "We're gonna arrest you if you call him Taco." It's like, good luck.
Yeah, and Trump is already fucking mad about it.
I know. That's good.
It's like he doesn't care that there's a lovely thing called freedom of press, freedom.
Freedom of the press, freedom of speech. Yep, exactly. Let's see. But yeah, that's going on. Here's something else. Here's a little bit of good news also. National Weather Service is going to be not rehiring, unfortunately, but hiring 125 new meteorologists to alleviate some of the problems that we've had, like the situation in Jackson, Kentucky, for example. But it still does not help the overall situation with the National Weather Service and NOAA.
Yep.
But now
I personally think that any president who's willing to say stuff like getting rid of the National Weather Service should have their fucking brain checked.
Yeah. I agree. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because, like I said in a previous episode, how many tornadoes does South Africa average in a year? 3! That's it. 3. In the United States, we got our numbers last year. Over 2,000 tornadoes reported. It's like the second largest since I think 2017 or something. It was one of those years, but it's like one of the largest we've had in a long time. And it's only going to get worse. So it's like over 2,000 versus 3. Do the math, Musk.
And then
And
And
then?
then there's the issue of the whole, what's it called, South African thing, where people are claiming that supposedly uh white people in South Africa are being persecuted against, like they persecuted against everyone else, every black person in apartheid. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, you know, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but what people had to live through in apartheid is nothing compared to what they might be going through in South Africa right now. I
Mm-hmm.
don't give a shit if it's true or not. In fact, I'm putting my money that it is not true. But the fact that people, these humans think that it's such a good idea to claim that is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's fucking dumb. And uh, you know, Nelson Mandela fought tooth and nail to give African Americans equal rights in South Africa.
Mm-hmm. He's.
Why in the fuck is it such a big fucking deal to people who are privileged white men to understand that, having every human being being treated as equals, no matter what gender, sex, I don't give a fuck what
Mm-hmm.
divisions we have in this country. I said this yesterday, and I'm going to say it again today. The divisions we have in this country, I've said it before, I should say, the divisions we have in this world are fucking asinine,
Mm-hmm.
outright asininity. And as far as I'm fucking concerned, the only fucking des- description we need for every fucking person is one. There's only one description we need. And you want to know what that is?
What is it?
Homo sapiens sapiens.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's all we need. That's the only description we need for every single fucking human in this world. Period.
Mm.
We don't need to be talking about, oh, this person's black, white, green, blue. I don't give a fuck what color someone is. I don't give a fuck what religion someone is. I don't give a fuck if you're gay, lesbian, transgender. I don't care. My only give a shit,
Mm-hmm.
there's only one give a shit that I have. And you want to know what that is?
What is it?
Simply put, do you treat your fellow human being with decency and respect? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you treat your fellow human being with decency and respect, guess what?
What?
You win points with me. If you don't treat your fellow human being with decency and respect, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone says to get respect, you have to have respect, you have to earn it. Yeah, except for one problem. I give every human being a modicum of respect when I first meet them. And then after I figure out more about them, they either get more or less respect from me. Like you, Shirley,
Mm-hmm.
when I first when I first met you, did I or did I not treat you with a baseline level of respect?
Yes.
When I met you and when I met Fanny, when I met fucking Sajo, when I met fucking Mike,
Mm-hmm.
I gave I give every single human being I meet a modicum level of respect. Where you go with that respect is all up to how you treat A, me, B, other humans, and C, yourself, and D, animals. If you treat other humans great, but you see animals as lesser than you,
Mm-hmm.
like a dog, like a cat, at all, and you throw them around, abuse them, whatever, as far as I'm concerned, your respect with me goes down the tubes. If you treat an animal, and when I'm talking animals, I'm talking about every animal, not just dogs, not just cats, not just, the only exception that I give for this rule is spooters because I hate spooters, considering I'm scared shitless of them.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I've never, that way of being for me has never given me wrong information. Never.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I recommend. Everyone treat everyone with a modicum of respect. But here's the problem with that as well. For people like Trump, I can't respect him.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he's shown time and time and time and time and time and time and time again that he doesn't view people. He doesn't view humans as equals.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why I've never had a problem with people who are on the LGBT spectrum. Because guess what? They're still humans.
Mm-hmm.
Even before I came out as being on the LGBT spectrum,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just putting this out there. I'm so sick and fucking tired of people treating others like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the
You know what I
meantime,
mean?
yeah. Yeah. Now, changing the subject here. Uh, there's now a new head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. But he jokingly said he wasn't aware there was a hurricane season. It's like, that's not funny, dummy.
No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
And I'm going to say this right now. Um, Anyone in this country who thinks that weather isn't a problem, anyone in this world that thinks that weather isn't a problem, needs to get their fucking head checked.
Yeah. It's a good thing I'm a weather geek.
exactly. It's a good thing I'm a weather geek.
Yeah.
Fuck. There's tornado warnings right now going on in fucking uh Oklahoma. There was a PBS tornado warning close to me.
Close to where?
Like, see it?
No,
Close to Cedar Rapids.
today?
There was today. Yes.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
Yep. It was in the Quad Cities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. PBS tornado warning in the Quad Cities earlier.
Ooh. Now that I was not aware of. So, but yeah, let's just say, let's see. This is the article from MSNBC. As hurricane season begins, Trump's FEMA chief once again fails to inspire confidence. It was a problem when the acting FEMA chief jokingly said he didn't know the U.S. has a hurricane season, but it wasn't the only problem in his remarks. Let's see.
No.
Yep. So here's what's going on. Oh, go ahead.
Just put it. I'm going to just say this. Pretty much anyone who's in the Trump administration right now has a major case of open mouth, insert foot, and deep throat that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this was posted this morning. The Trump administration had a credible official leading the Federal Emergency Management Agency. His name was Cameron Hamilton, and he had experience not only as a Navy SEAL and former combat medic, but also as the former director of the Emergency Medical Services Division at the Department of Homeland Security. He was nevertheless fired last month, not because he did something wrong, but because Hamilton, a lifelong conservative Republican, testified before Congress and told lawmakers that it would be in the public's interest if FEMA continued to exist. Donald Trump, of course, wants to eliminate FEMA altogether, and so Hamilton, one day after his testimony, found himself out of a job. He was soon replaced by David Richardson, who has no background in emergency management and who, on his first day as the agency's acting chief, told FEMA staff that he would run right over anyone who gets in his way. A month later, as Reuters reported, Richardson continues to make newsworthy comments. Let's see. Staff of the federal... I'm going to say FEMA because it's too long. Staff of FEMA were left baffled on Monday after the head of the U.S. Disaster Agency said he had not been aware the country has a hurricane season, according to 4 sources familiar with the situation. The remark was made during a briefing by David Richardson, who has led FEMA since early May. As NBC News reported, administration officials didn't deny Richardson made the comments, though the defense was that the acting FEMA director was joking. A statement from the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees FEMA, added that the allegations that Richardson was sincere about his ignorance were mean-spirited. Among those who actually heard the comments, there was apparently some question as to whether Richardson was kidding or not, but either way, this was a curious thing for an acting FEMA chief to joke about 2 days into hurricane season. Unfortunately, the alleged joke wasn't the only newsworthy part of Richardson's comments. The Wall Street Journal reported, for example, that the Trump-appointed official also announced that FEMA had scrapped plans to come up with a hurricane response plan, choosing instead to simply use last year's plan. Yeah, real smart. Not. By way of social media, the Department of Homeland Security described the journal's reporting as fake news, adding, FEMA is full steam ahead with an effective and focused plan to respond to hurricane season while empowering states to further lead their own disaster response. But that statement didn't exactly deny the accuracy of the journal's report, so much as it took issue with the newspaper including the word scraps in the headline. All that over one word? Oh boy. It's also worth noting, for context, that Richardson recently told FEMA officials that he intended to complete work on the agency's hurricane response plan by the week of May 19th. Now, if the journal's reporting is accurate, the new strategy is to dust off the Biden administration's plan and run with it. And while that might seem like a reasonable solution, especially given the fact that the Biden administration was competent, it's not nearly that simple. As the journal's report added, some FEMA officials were confused about how the agency could follow the 2024 blueprint, given the agency had already eliminated key programs and sharply cut its workforce. All this comes on the heels of the Washington Post reporting that FEMA was already facing a backlog of 19 unprocessed emergency aid requests, and that was before hurricane season began. Once more, the broader concerns are not limited to FEMA. There are related issues at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, while at the National Weather Service, The Guardian reported this week, there is a lack of meteorologists in 15 of the regional weather service offices along the coastline from Texas to Florida as well as Puerto Rico. The same Guardian report, which has not been independently verified by MSNBC or NBC News, added that the Miami-based National Hurricane Center is short 5 specialists. To be sure, the New York Times reported that the National Weather Service, after having already lost 600 employees in recent months, intends to start hiring additional staff to help stabilize the department. What's less clear is when these employees will be hired, whether they'll have the necessary experience, how long it will take them to get up to speed, and why the NWS laid off so many of its employees in the first place. Well, that's Doge's fault on that one. Looking ahead, Americans might get lucky. It's possible that the projections are wrong and the United States won't have to deal with any deadly hurricanes this year, or for that matter, in the coming years. Maybe there won't be any real-world consequences tied to the administration's latest moves at FEMA, NWS, and NOAA. But as the president and his team move further away from responsible governing and disaster preparedness, counting on good fortune hardly seems like a wise strategy.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, let me put it to you this. We're fortunate that we have people like Ryan Hall and Max Velocity who monitor weather and try and keep people up to date in the most modern ways possible. What we aren't lucky for is idiots like Trump who seem to think that that's all we need. No. The problem, dear viewers, is that if we just focus on one or two sources of information, we're going to have a massive issue called let's just call it what it is. As far as I'm concerned, the National Weather Service should never be seen as an optional part of our nation's spending. In fact, I think it should be compulsory. And I think we need to really think about increasing National Weather Service coverage. We have plenty of what are called radar holes in our country.
Oh, yeah. I got that one down in West Alabama.
These are places where we have very, very limited access, radar access. What we need, and just me saying this honestly, what we really fucking need is a radar site in every place that we are lacking. I think honestly, we probably should have upwards of about 200 to 300 radar sites in this country.
Yeah, because I'll tell you this
and
right
that's now. That's just the mainland. If we add in Hawaii and Alaska and Guam and all of our territories, I'd say we should have in each of those at least 20. Well, Hawaii and Puerto Rico and Guam we could keep low, but we still need stuff. We still need coverage in all of the United States, not just parts of it, all of it.
Yeah, because
every part of the radar, every part of the country should be blanketed in radar coverage. What do you think?
Yeah, because I will tell you right now, here in Alabama, the western part of the state, like Demopolis and all them, there's no radar there because they're very far from Mobile, they're very far from Birmingham, they're very far from Jackson, Mississippi. And there have been times Different times, some places have had little to no warning because they're not getting that coverage they need. They need a radar out in that part of Alabama.
Yeah, every place needs radar.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh.
My proposal is simple. Unless there is a radar within, say, a 1.5 hour drive
Mm-hmm.
from a location, every place that every city that has over 10,000 people
Mm-hmm.
should have an active radar that the National Weather Service can use.
Yeah.
I mean, that it really isn't.
Mm-mm. And if you recall, last night I mentioned that Dorian is being replaced with Dexter. Of course, Dorian's name got retired. Of course, Dorian was the subject of Sharpie Gate.
Yep. And I'm sorry if me saying it like this is rude, but you and I both know that with our weather knowledge, we both know that there is a lot of things we need to cover.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, I like what Saja said here. Those Trump administration suffers a weather deranged syndrome. Yeah, that's about right.
Here's the problem, Sajo. It's not that they suffer weather derangement syndrome, it's that they don't know what is fucking needed in this fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that what we need in this fucking planet is continuous coverage. I mean, there's places in fucking like in where what do you want to say? In foreign countries where they don't really need a national weather service or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a place like this, America,
Mm-hmm.
um, you need because we have so many varied fucking biomes in this one country,
Mm-hmm.
we absolutely 110% unequivocally need a functioning National Weather Service.
Yeah.
The key word there being, what is it, Shirley?
Um, function?
Functioning.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. We need it.
I know. Yeah, especially and now we got hurricane season. Our hurricane hunters can be going out. Because I think they cut that out, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yes. Yes, the hurricane hunters are gone.
I swear one thing: if people die, I'm not gonna say if. I'm gonna say when. When people die during these hurricanes, I hope the families sue the heck out of the Trump administration for this. But it just boggles
I'll
my mind.
go,
Boggles.
Shirley, I'll go even further.
Okay.
I hope they sue Trump in his personal level and, and professional level and Doge and Elon Musk and all of his little cronies
Mm-hmm.
on the personal level.
Yeah. But
Sorry, but
no, no,
they
no.
don't deserve immunity for causing people to die.
Mm-mm. I agree, but it just. I mean, we're both weather geeks, and
It's
it's like
sickening.
we're all suffering because we're not getting. Some places have not had to stop using weather balloons. Um, a lot of the offices are so understaffed.
It sounds legit. I was watching something yesterday um about the what was it? Not the National Weather Service, something just important
Mm-hmm.
about, the Federal Aviation Administration. That's what it was. Um, let me tell you a few things about these Federal Aviation Administration uh air traffic controllers.
Mm-hmm.
Some things that people don't know, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
but people need to know.
Oh.
The the people who deal with National Weather Service are not Weather Service, sorry, part the Federal Aviation Administration.
Mm-hmm.
Those people work 60-hour days in uh towers that are still running Windows 95,
Mm-hmm.
still using floppy disks, still have bats and black mold in them, have just like they work in deplorable conditions. And these are the people that keep us safe
Mm-hmm.
in the air. They still fucking use goddamn paper strips on a fucking magnetic thing, a magnetic uh pile thing for every fucking flight that comes in and goes out. Like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to
No,
say,
no, uh-uh.
this is the National Weather Service and the Federal Aviation Administration
Mm-hmm.
are two things you kind of really want to have in very good working order,
Yep.
simply because, there's this little lovely thing called, oh, I don't, you know, it just,
Yeah, so I just said, what the
sorry,
fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck?
I mean, let me ask you a question, Sajo. Would you try flying if you knew the people that hours have been hours in a week? Like,
Hmm?
would you trust would you trust it if you found out the person that is making sure your plane doesn't drop from the sky was so fucking tired that they could barely stay awake?
Hmm. I'd probably do something about that. Frodo, you
That's
there?
exactly
Okay.
what I'm saying. The
Okay.
problem is, I'm here. I'm here. The
Okay.
problem is, you want to know how strict the requirements to be an air traffic controller is?
A lot of work.
Oh, it's worse than you think. So, in order to even be considered for the position of an air traffic controller, you have to be younger than 31 or younger, 31 years old or younger.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, after you get past that first hurdle, you you have to have naturally 20/20 vision. So there,
Mm-hmm.
You have to have disease or severe mental health issues. Well, there we go again.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, sorry, my internet connection's being a goof.
Ah.
You've got all these, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's to get in that literally of say 1,500 people
Mm-hmm.
at Oklahoma for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I just it just blows my mind that despite the fact we've already had a lot of tornadoes this year, few offices have gotten short staffed. The word I have is da 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 dumb.
I just who's
Frodo, you're cutting in and out.
Yeah, I think I know why too. I think this is causing a few issues there. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. Huh.
That's better. No, that's butter. No, that's Parquet. No, it's Parkman.
But no, I just am so fucking. Mm. And last night on the show, if you listen to the show,
Mm-hmm.
we had I went and actually um came out last yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So anyway, what else do you got, Shirley?
Well, let's see. Let's see, we covered. Oh, yeah, Elon Musk's finally leaving because it's been 130 days. He's done enough. No, he's done way too much.
Yep.
Too much damage, that is. He and those stupid little Doge cronies.
Yeah, they all of them are
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, something else I heard. Now this was, I can't remember, it was either Fair and Balanced or Ring of Fire. Turns out Trump administration decided to deport a 2-year-old.
yeah.
They deported a 2-year-old. Now, here's what gets interesting. Her parents, from Brazil, did everything right. They were asylum seekers. They followed everything legally, and they still got deported. Now, this actually creates a unique problem down in Brazil because the 2-year-old girl, she was born in the United States, so she's not a Brazilian citizen. It's like, how are they going to solve this?
They can't. They can't. They literally. I'm just gonna say this.
Mm-hmm.
They shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It's just, it's like, oh yeah, what is it? Moderna has a brand new COVID 19 vaccination shot, which got approved by the FDA. And unfortunately, that's got people like Margarine Turnip Greens up in arms. It's like, what the hell, lady? yeah,
Yeah, you know how it is with her.
it just blows my mind that you have all of these idiots now up in Washington.
Yep.
And some people would still rather vote them, keep voting him in. It's like, you do realize you're not going to get anything done, right? It just, I, but of course, the big
Yep.
thing that happened, of course, was the taco. 74 Trump always chickens out, which he does. Yep, he's definitely a coward. Yeah, and when he can't get his way, he throws a hissy fit, right?
Yep. He's a baby.
Yep. He's a baby trapped in a 89-year old's body.
Sometimes I wonder how if he's really he's 79. You mean?
Oh, 79, you're right. Why say 89 for? Take 89 and call me in the
Oh,
morning. Not. But think about this. Um RFK Jr. is saying that I love what Sajo said. Taco, 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 taco. Truth.
and I'm gonna say this right now to Donald Trump directly. If you have a problem with people calling you a taco, I've got a little pro tip for you. I mean, this is something that I've used many times in my
Mm-hmm.
life, and it seems to have worked. And I know I'm 39 years younger than you, almost 40 years younger than you.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes the younger people have the most wisdom.
Yeah.
Here's my wisdom for you, Mr. Trump. If you're gonna say you're gonna do something, stop being a fucking bitch and actually do it,
Yeah.
and stop being a fucking scaredy cat little fucking whore.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that all out loud?
Yeah,
Fuck
you
it.
did. Screw you. I mean, yeah. Yeah, for Trump and RFK, what a maroon. What a maroon. What an ignoramus. But unfortunately, this ignorance can be dangerous.
Yep.
Because it just was my mind. Now, there's a little bit of good news. The 4-year-old girl who was being treated with cancer, she got emergency orders, but I don't know if they're going to be able to bring her back because I think they had already deported her to, I think it was Honduras? Her
They're
and her brother.
deporting people into weird places.
Yeah. But, oh, I just,
Not just Ecuador.
yeah. Not just
Not just Ecuador.
Yeah, there's Venezuela, there's El
Venezuela.
Salvador, that one in El Salvador.
Yep. And then there's some in Africa too.
Yeah. But I'm about to the point like enough is enough.
Yeah. Well, I think we could pretty much end tonight a little early. What do
Yeah,
you think?
I think so.
All right.
But
Well, I'm
yeah,
gonna say this right now. Um, Everyone who has a problem, resist.
Mm-hmm.
with everything that you can, resist.
Yeah.
With everyone who treats you like shit, resist.
Mm-hmm.
Please, everyone resist.
Yeah. Because
All right.
we gotta keep up the fight. One thing that Tim Walz has said that I like what he said. It's time for Democrats to get mean and nasty, because it might be great to you know talk and talk and talk, but you know. And here's something else before we go. Next year, of course, Snobby Snubberville decided he's going to run for the governor of Alabama. All right. Now, here's one problem. There are a lot of Democrats and some other people. His residence is in Florida.
Yep, he can't run.
Right, but yeah, because they're saying renting a place in Auburn does not automatically make you a resident.
Nope.
So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If they let him get away with that, it's like, then my state is fucked.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll bounce out. You go ahead and end it.
All right. Catch you later. All right. Anyway, yeah, I am gonna go and wrap things up here. So, of course, don't have anything tomorrow. Thursday, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I got two goals. One, uh, finish off the fifth and final Pingle card. Because thankfully it's not there until Sunday. And hopefully sometime live during that thing, I will unleash that Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I've done it in a couple of duels, but I'm going to see if I can pull it off live on the air. So that should be a lot of fun. And of course, Friday, it's trivia night. So, we're going to have fun with that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the ending. So bear with me. Growl. Alright, so with that in mind, I'm going to say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everyone have a great night, sleep well, stay safe, and I'll see you in a couple days for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So, peace. Later.